Hi, Bill Henshaw here again, your walking constitution out here in San Francisco, California. And I apologize for a bit of a delay with videos, but there'll be more coming at you here. And this one we're going to pick up again with eviction cases. And a lot of you know how hot button of an issue that is right now. It hasn't formally reached the U.S. Supreme Court yet, but the cases they've decided in this area with other related issues, uh, it's going to be going our way here because it's an administrative state, not a judicial court. And you're entitled to that from day one. And it gets a lot better than that, too, when you realize there's no landlord tenant relationship. I mean, they can't prove a damn thing. And that's the way it should be. If you have a corporate landlord, they're out of business before they start. That's how good it is. And we can go after them, and you can learn how to do that. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, for information about my constitutional defense document packets, all of which work great in a judicial court if you were in one. And that's the problem. You're not. Because the corporation, it doesn't have any standing in a judicial court. Not only do we have standing, we have a right to be there from day one. That's the original intent of the framers, and that's what it is that we want back. And get rid of all this corporate BS nonsense that's been going on for way too long. A lot of which comes, by the way, from the ratification of the non-existent 14th Amendment, and that's the only citizenship they have, and we can prove that not only does that amendment not exist, it never did. Contemporaneously ruled unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court. This is how we beat them, even in their corrupt courts, if necessary. And I'm developing ways now to get cases like this out of a trial court, aka administrative tribunal, and into an Article 3 federal circuit court. And the great news here is that the current justices on the U.S. Supreme Court will understand exactly what we're doing and why. First time in 90 years, they're acting like an Article 3 judicial court. And all these corporations and their shit-ass corporate attorneys is starting to trickle down now. They're getting to understand that. And the big deal is it's not just your case. Because we went on the record in your case, it's good for every eviction from coast to coast. It's going to stop, and it should stop, uh, at least with the original intent. And that's where it is we want to go. So to learn more about that, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and I'll fill you in on my modestly priced document packets. I mean, you're going to love what's going on here, and it applies across the board in other situations too, like with the DMV and any alphabet agency like that. Also, administrative agencies. So these issues work across the board, just like the framers had planned it. What they didn't plan for was today's elected despotism, as accurately described by racists like Madison and Jefferson in Federalist Papers number 48. And that's what we have today. So that's another thing you learn here with all this corporate BS that's going on, is that there's simply no laws on the books because we're not represented in the legislatures. And not only are they represented, they have PACs, political activity committees, that get whatever laws they want passed in Sacramento or wherever else.